Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. It is really late and I have to go to work tomorrow, but I just came back from seeing Malignant, and this movie has been on my mind ever since I left the theater seeing the movie, okay? So, Malignant is directed by James Wan. It's a new horror film by James Wan, who said he wasn't gonna do horror anymore for a while. He said that before he made The Conjuring 2, and 5 years later after that, he made this movie. He may not have directed the new Conjuring movie, but he decided to make this film. This movie is about a woman named Madison who has been going through a lot. Her abusive husband has died, and she was expecting a baby, but that dies as well. And when she gets hit in the head, this creature known as Gabriel, who she supposedly has known for a while, comes back. And every time something happens when Gabriel tries to kill someone, she ends up going into that killing when Gabriel is about to kill someone, and it messes with her mind. So her sister or stepsister, as we find out that she's adopted, helps her out by finding out, who her real mother is and seeing if she knows anything that has happened in her past about who exactly Gabriel is, because he's supposedly a person or creature that Madison has known throughout her life. This movie, um, uh, yeah, you can see why it's been on my mind. I don't know what to make of it. Remember when Mother came out in 2017? That was a movie that had my jaw dropped throughout, like, the last act of the movie. Like, when I left the theater, I thought it was good, but I could totally see why audiences were very divisive on this movie. And honestly, this is a movie that a lot of people are gonna hate. They are not gonna understand this movie. They are probably gonna consider it to be one of the, I wouldn't say one of the worst things they've ever seen. I mean, when I was working today, there was a guy who saw the movie and said it was the worst thing he saw in years, but this is a movie that's going to confuse a lot of people. And a friend of mine saw the movie and he hated it as well. He's actually my friend Matthew Bailey's cousin. Shout out to him. How you doing? Hope you're watching this. You probably are, because you want to see my whole thoughts on the movie and why I liked it a lot more than you. But yeah, spoiler alert, I did like the movie. And yeah, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to enjoy the movie as well. Like, I saw on Twitter, like, people are calling it one of the most original horror films in a while. But yeah, this is definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But what I love most about this movie is how different it is. Like, it puts you in the horror immediately in the first 5 minutes or so. And while the movie isn't flat out scary, it's more on the campy side than the scary side. And yeah, I said campy because we don't get that many campy horror films. I think the campiest one we got recently was Drag Me to Hell. Well, not recently, because that film came out 12 years ago, but we rarely get horror films like that. And the fact that this goes for more on the campy route, it's something that would be a really risky move for James Wan, but since he made films like Aquaman and Furious 7, two ridiculous action films that were a hell of a lot of fun, I can see why he would put some of that campiness in here. And for the most part, he pulled it off. Like, this movie is unpredictable. It is insane, and it's anything could happen in this movie, especially towards the third act. In fact, there are moments where it pays homage to some of his other films, like Insidious, the first Insidious, and The Conjuring. Like, he kind of has, like, it's kind of like he's doing these movies in the exact same house. Like, some of the rooms, like with the stairs and stuff, kind of look the same as those two movies, okay? And with this film, it's certainly no different. And I'm surprised with how well paced this movie is. It's not fully slow burn. In fact, it's not a slow burn at all. It puts you right into the horror. It has one of the most disturbing opening sequences I've seen. In fact, this is probably his goriest film. In fact, it's so gory, it makes the first Saw movie, James Wan directed the first Saw film, it makes that film look PG-13 in terms of bloody violence, because this film, he just went all out with it, okay? And for the most part, it is really entertaining to see. And if you came to see that, then you are definitely going to get that here. And the twist, too, it has a twist that it's probably one of the craziest ones. Like, seriously, it's crazier than some of Shyamalan's other twists. I mean, most of his twists can be hit or miss. I thought the twist was a lot better than in Old. Old, the new film that came out. I forgot my AC was on. Let me turn that off for a minute. But some people are really just like I said, there are times when like you're just going like what WTF, what just happened? And that's exactly what this movie is. It's a WTF movie, especially when it gets to the third act, which I thought was a lot of fun. Though there are when it gets really close to the end, there is a part which is one of my downfalls of the movie, turns into the Matrix a little bit. Like it has like a crazy like action sequence where if I get into more, then it's going to get into spoiler territory. But while I thought it was entertaining, like it really took the campiness to a whole nother level. In fact, it felt a lot more like an action film, and that I was kind of divided on. Also, some of the acting wasn't perfect. Like some of James Wan's other films had really good acting, but this one, I mean, since it's more on the campy route, the acting really wasn't like that memorable. Like particularly in the characters, though, when it comes to this really crazy like creature that pops out in the movie, I thought that was easily the creepiest part of the whole movie. In fact, it's not very scary, but like I mentioned before, it's not as scary as, say, Insidious, and that was PG-13, or both of the Conjuring movies. Not even the first Saw movie, but where it's really going for is its campiness and its crazy violence. And I think James Wan really pulled it off here. Okay. In the end, this was a crazy ride for me, okay? It's definitely not going to be for everyone. People are going to love it. People are absolutely going to hate it. I mean, like, if you came for a lot of gore, then you're really going to get that here. But I love how it was different than what James Wan mostly did. Like, I love how he decided to go for a more different route in terms of horror. Like, I still think when it comes to horror, like, I still think he makes good horror. And I think this is good horror right here. It's a crazy thrill ride of just bonkers, gore and twists and turns that are absolutely unpredictable. That's the best way I can describe this movie. A lot of people are not going to agree with what I'm about to rate this movie, but hey, it's just what I thought of the movie, so don't judge me. I really wish we got more movies like this. Once in a while we do, but this is a rare one. And this is a film that I don't think is going to leave my mind for a while, especially when I work and people come to see the movie. But of course, if you're still not interested in seeing the movie, there's always HBO Max, which is probably the best option for films like this. But I had a great time seeing this in the theater. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what more people are going to say. I love the diversity that's going on between this film. I, for one, really enjoyed it, but hey, there's also going to be a lot of people who are really going to hate it. So, yeah, it's crazy how James Wan actually actually decided to go all out with this one. Okay, I'm talking way too long here. Like this is almost as long as my Space Jam review. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't really know what else to say, but I should probably go to bed because it's really late right now, but I just wanted to get this video out, so even though it's probably not going to be out till Sunday or whenever you're watching this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Ward out.